Yeah, it's been a really good conversation starter for potential clients. We give so much of ourselves on the website that I think they feel more now than with our old website that they want to tell their story to us and show a bit of their personality as well, which is a really great way to start things.
Hello everybody and welcome to Show Love episode 13. Unlucky number 13, which seems somewhat appropriate at the moment. My name is Ben. I will be your host, and joining me across the interwebs from Melbourne, Australia is Grace and Andrew, otherwise known as Bottlebrush Films. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Thanks for having us, man. Pumped.
Awesome. All right, I'm super stoked, and I think we're going to have a good one today. Basically, I've got Grace and Andrew on the show today to talk through kind of two big topics for them. Bottlebrush Films has gone through a big sort of rebrand somewhat recently, which I'm going to dive in and talk all about that with them. And also, I'm sure you've heard about the Lonely Hearts Film Camp, the workshop that Grace and Andrew put on recently as well, which seemed like it went off amazingly. So we're going to chat all about that too.
You're just talking about the party, right?
Yeah. And to start us off, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about Bottlebrush early days, how it all started, how you guys started making films together and started capturing weddings, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So we met in uni in film school. And at the time I was making coffees. I've been making coffees for a long time to pay the rent. And a friend of ours from film school actually started shooting at another studio in Melbourne, and he said they were looking for people to film things, and I don't even think I'd been to a wedding at that stage.
No.
Yeah. And so I was like, sweet, people are going to pay me to play with a camera. Let's do that. Did that for 12 months and actually was like, oh shit, I really enjoy weddings. Weddings are fun. People are having a good time, drinking, partying, you know.
Yeah.
This is I could get around this, and then it sort of happened from there.
Yeah.
You sort of told me to...
Andrew shot a wedding just for one of his mates for like free, and then I'm like, what are you going to do with all that footage? So I just took it from him and edited it, because you were shit at editing.
I am still shit at editing.
Our uni teacher really hated Andrew. Our editing teacher, yeah.
Yeah, our editing teacher at film school would be really disappointed to know that we ended up together, because she was the star pupil and I was a terrible student.
Yeah.
But it works.
It kind of just rolled from there, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your various strengths have seemed to combine together pretty epically, to be honest. And so how long have you guys had Bottlebrush now?
Oh my God. I don't even know.
When was film school? 2010, 2011?
Yeah, 2012 we finished film school, so maybe, since
2013,
but we weren't full-time for quite a while, but yeah, we did Andrew's brother's wedding in Thailand, and I was working full-time in an ad agency, and then we got home from Thailand. I'm like, holy shit, we have enough money in Bottlebrush for me to quit my job, so I quit my job.
Yeah.
The day after I got home. Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's wicked. And then so let's talk now about, I guess, like the brand change, because first of all, it's amazing. It's huge. Like it's one of the coolest, I guess, brand revamps I've seen in a really, really long time. It's done really, really well. So yeah, I guess I'd love to talk all about that from the what was I guess the impetus for you guys to rehash the brand.
Yeah. I think we've never really had a solid brand in terms of like a logo, font, or just anything across every, social media website, nothing tied in for us. And we're kind of like, I don't know, I think it was mostly me. I was a bit over not having something to kind of bring it all together. So we just decided to give it a crack and do something different.
Grace has always said we've never really had a brand that truly represented us. And so we wanted to make something cohesive across from our socials, our website, our packaging, everything, something really that all tied together, that wasn't just a stream of consciousness.
Not just a homemade website. Which I'm shit at. I'm really shit at websites, and we've had my crappy website up for years. I'm like, I want someone to do it professionally. I'm so keen.
Yeah. And I think we just saw it as a creative outlet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something new to do.
We had all sorts of different inspirations. I think my one contribution was the old family photos that we've got on there. But the rest was
yeah,
great.
they were really cool. And so I guess to sort of talk me through some of the references, the inspirations, like how you landed on the sort of the aesthetic and the feel and the voice that you did.
Yeah, I think so we hit up, our brand's by Lilu. She's like freaking amazing, and we kind of hit her up to do it all for us. And she had us make like, your Pinterest board. And I was like, good, because I thought they were lame, but I'm super keen to do that. But basically it was all like 80s kind of inspired, because we kind of just wanted to do something that was basically not wedding-y, we told her. And we kind of just said, we don't want it to be like watercolours or deer antlers and all that kind of wedding stuff.
We didn't want to recycle anything.
Yeah, so it was all kind of like 80s inspired, a lot of like film posters from the 80s. Andrew really loves film noir. He did like a lot of film noir stuff in uni, so we had a lot of like Alfred Hitchcock posters. Yeah.
We had some neons as well. We had all sorts of crazy shit on our Pinterest board.
It was mostly 80s, some kind of retro throwback kind of magazine stuff, which Andrew loved. So we had kind of two styles going, and then Lulu kind of made it one.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the
it's really, really cool. And yeah, you definitely see that like that film noir style with the sunglasses and the reflection stuff. It's real cool.
Yeah.
And the copy is all just our voice as well. We figured it has to be genuine, otherwise it won't stick, across socials and everything. So
Yeah.
I think the longer that we go in this game, the more we realise we can just be ourselves and people are going to love it.
Yeah, totally. And so what's been the response from like couples and other vendors and stuff?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, what have you heard?
Yeah, everyone's been really nice about it all. They've been going crazy for it. And even just exploring the website, I think in itself is an experience, even down to taking the red and the blue pill, and people have been going crazy for that. So
yeah, it's been a cool response, I think, from vendors as well, going, holy shit, this is really like different for something wedding based, which I'm like, yes, that was the whole goal. And then couples have loved it too, which is really nice. Like a lot of people, like when they inquire now, are saying like how awesome our website is and how they get like a feeling just for our personality just from landing on the website homepage alone, which is so cool.
Yeah, it's been a really good conversation starter for potential clients. Like, we give so much of ourselves on the website that I think they feel more now than with our old website that they want to tell their story to us and show a bit of their personality as well, which is a really great way to start things, and it gives us a good sense for who they are and what's important to them and how amazing their wedding's going to be and how much FOMO I get.
Yeah, totally. And because like I think I've talked about it with people a few times on the podcast, but I guess like it's good to be like bold with that and not just try and make something that you think people will like, think that the most people will like, or think couples will like, or because like people will pick up on like the most random stuff that you're just throwing out about your personality. Like I had one inquiry the other day where because on my about page I talk about all my like nerdy ass interests and that I play like Dungeons and Dragons and that I read like Star Wars fan fiction, and then like one inquiry from a couple, she's like, by the way, do you have any like Star Wars fanfic recommendations and stuff?
That's so cool.
Yeah, and so I was like,
sick.
cool job, booked, done.
Yeah, you're booked.
You're like, we're going to get along just fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a similar thing, like one couple, like as we did the rebrand, like we'd already shot their wedding, but then they came to us after the rebrand. They're like, hey, we wouldn't be upset if the whole vibe of our wedding video was 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Because at their reception, they had all 80s. They had like Madonna and like Bowie. They walked into Bowie and stuff, like all my favorite artists. And I was like, shit, yes, like so keen. So I found like an 80s track for them and did like some like 80s like side swipes and like transitions and shit, and it was so cool. And that was just from our brand, really.
The groom wore a green velvet suit jacket to give you an idea, so they had that sort of vibe going on.
That was cool.
Those guys are awesome. That's on our Instagram. It's Tara and Sam.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was epic. Yeah, really, really cool. I guess to dive in a bit too on like the films and their style, like a lot of them are really like fun and fast and like energetic. What kind of influences are you guys drawing on for those? Because it seems like you're like one of like a few of us now who are deciding to look away from what like wedding films look like and try to make them something different. So what are some of the influences you guys are drawing on for that?
You're looking at me, I know you are.
Yeah, Grace touched on this a fair bit at camp, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of some of my talk was like inspiration and where to find it for camp. But I think a lot of it for me like comes from music. So it's probably a music question in here as well, but a lot of it does come from like the music and like music videos in general. So I do troll YouTube a lot for like really cool music videos. I feel like if you keep watching other people's wedding stuff, you're never going to find something like unique or your own style. It's not a good way to find your own style. So we kind of I get it from everywhere really, man, like music, and like I look through like old 80s videos, 70s videos on YouTube. Yeah. I don't know, it's hard to say. I kind of just like make it up as I go.
Well, like the Gabby and Kate's film.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of different music videos. Like there's one by George Ezra. You've used Lana Del Rey in the past for Kenny and Beck's film.
Yeah, for a lot of like inspiration and like just ideas with how to use different tracks and different styles of editing and stuff.
Even aesthetics. Like for me, I see stuff on movies all the time. Like we was even watching an old episode of Buffy and there was a fight scene. I was like, it's so blurry. What are they doing? And I was like, oh, okay, so they use slow shutter. And I figured out on the Sonys you can do a quarter of a shutter speed. So I've been screwing around with that just on dancehall footage and stuff like that. You might have seen a few bits in our films from it, but
yeah. I think just naturally we're not too well. You are cheesy, but I'm not very.
That's why I don't do the editing.
I'm really anti-cheese and like pretty. I was like kind of showing people's like flaws as much as anything. So I think it just shows in how you edit and how you do all that. Yeah.
Nice. And so with the kind of the vibe that you guys have landed on now, like that 80s vibe, like I guess something that feels a bit more personal for you guys, how are you feeling about like the brand, like your films, how they sit now and kind of where you potentially see them, like see the brand in like say 5 years time? Like do you feel like it's going to be quite similar, or do you feel like it's going to develop and evolve from here?
Such a hard question, like where will it develop to? I hope the brand sits as it is for a very long time, so I don't have to touch it again.
It took us 10 months to get to the website point.
It was hard, but it was a big process, but it was cool. I don't know, where do you see us in 5 years?
I think in terms of the next 5 years, more in terms of what we want to do, more so than the brand. I think we'll always do weddings because we're really proud of what we've built up with Bottlebrush.
Yeah.
We'll probably get more and more boutique. We're only doing 15 bookings this next season.
Yeah.
Raising the prices, trying to go deeper into what we can experiment with, lighting and conceptual driven stuff.
Just trying to go as high end as we can and limited, amount of weddings so we can really make more of a epic film every time.
Yeah, but we also want to be able to take advantage of some opportunities that come our way. Like Grace got asked to work on a feature film by one of our brides who's actually a director.
Yeah.
We were too busy. We couldn't.
Too busy.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a heartbreaker, but we've slowly sort of cut back our numbers year by year, and that sort of. It was a heartbreaker, but it made us realise that yes, we're moving in the right direction for what we want to do in the future, to have these sort of opportunities and take advantage of them.
Yeah, I think we just more than anything obviously just Bottlebrush should be like super automated so that it's really easy to run and we're only doing a limited amount and we're really passionate about it. And then to do other projects like personal projects and stuff, which I'm really keen on, just to I think keep yourself fresh. It's good to get outside of your everyday job. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, wicked. And so for everyone who's sort of like looking at you guys and what you've done in this last year around your kind of rebrand and your refresh, for anyone who's thinking about that kind of investment, because like someone like myself, I did a bit of a rebrand recently, but I did it all myself. I just redid my website, did my own logo, did everything. And so for people who either can't do that or want to invest a bit more into the process, similar to you guys, what would you tell them? What have you guys learnt from this sort of brand investment?
That it will take a long time.
It'll take a long time. Be patient and do it proper. But it's worth taking a long time. It's kind of like a process of figuring out what your personal style is, because like kind of what you said before, you don't want to give anything off that's not genuinely you. So yeah, I think and just be prepared to spend some money on someone you think is worthwhile spending the money on to rebrand for you. Yeah. Because I'm really bad with that stuff, like graphic design and bringing a whole concept together like that. So it's so worth just actually finding someone really good to do it for you and just putting the money down and getting it done properly, because it's good investment in your business. Like, I sound so wanky, it's a good investment in your business, but it is.
No, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. It's like the whole, it's like your entire style, like what your couples are going to, what they're going to feel from you when they first land on your website. And
I would say be genuine as well. Like, you don't want to try and emulate what you're seeing other people doing. Like, there's only one you. Show it off, lean into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you were saying before, Dungeons and Dragons. There's always going to be people that connect with whatever weirdness that you put out there. You know what I mean? Not saying Dungeons and Dragons.
It is weird. It is very, very weird. Yeah, no, I will stand fully behind that. It is a very
I love
weird hobby.
it. That's sick.
But you know what I mean? It's just, you should be yourself. Just be yourself.
Yeah, and actually spend some time like finding a point of difference, like what your point of difference is. Like
Yeah.
we spend a lot of time. I mean, when we started our little Pinterest board thing, like Andrew had this one style he wanted and I had one style and we were kind of fighting about it almost like, and I'm like, no, it needs to
She
be
won.
this. I won. Winner. But like, you know, work extra hard just to like really make something just as unique as you can.
Yeah.
Because it's a big industry, like, you know, figure out how you're going to stand out. Yeah.
Yeah. Have some fun with it. We
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nice one. Cool. Okay. So branding side, before we talk about camp, music bed playlist. How did that happen? Let's talk about that.
Was the best day of my life.
Yeah.
Grace
Yeah.
was so excited.
So
when that
cool.
happened.
So fucking happy. You can go. Well, we're kind of just talking. I talk to music bed a lot because I basically my whole freaking life is on music bed. I live on the thing. So
Yeah, so we won, what was it, Best Use of Music in the Love Stories TV
yeah.
comp last year. And I think that's when we sort of started getting on their radar a little bit.
yeah, when we kind of won that was for Jacqueline and Liam's
Yeah.
film. But then anyway, with the camp Lonely Hearts, we hit them up for some sponsorship and they were really keen to be involved.
Yeah.
And so we just kept kind of talking to them and kind of talking ourselves up and saying, I live on this bloody website. And then it just kind of happened from there and yes.
Yeah. No, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and they're such nice people as well.
Yeah.
They're always so helpful.
Yeah, they are. They're really cool.
Yeah.
And you always email them looking for specific songs and they're always so helpful. So.
Yeah, they help me find cool shit every now and then, yeah.
Yeah. If you're not on Music Bed, people, get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so let's talk about like music selection and process and like how you go about incorporating that. So yeah, like are you, in terms of like how you trawl music bed and stuff, what's the process for you around selecting those tracks?
Yeah, I think so it's such a process. I spend a lot of time on music. Like I spend a long time looking for the right song, which I think is important as well. Like don't rush it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We have like a pre-wedding form for the couples where we get them to kind of tell us what music they love and hate if they are really big musos and to get an idea of where to actually start because it's kind of hard to find a song without any kind of brief. Like,
That's,
Do you
and
get
you-
most of the response from couples saying, our music interest is varied?
yeah. Oh, we love Triple J. I'm like, everyone loves Triple J. There's so much on there. No, nothing wrong with that though. But yeah, we do. We get a lot of that too, which is fine. It just means it's more about throwing it back on them after the fact. So if I choose a really wild song, they're not going to be like, whoa, that's not what we wanted.
yeah. We're lucky. We get a lot of people say, we trust you fully, go crazy, full
Yeah.
creative license.
Yeah. I think for me, it's just like I go through speeches first and it's about figuring out what is going to go with the speeches, kind of listening to what music they have on the day of their wedding and, yeah, giving it a kind of style. Like, yeah, it's hard. It's a hard question.
Yeah, you listen to the first dance songs,
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff. Did you say that already?
yeah. I think I did.
Yeah. How long would you guys roughly spend sort of like per wedding, like on average, just looking for songs?
Like it can be like an afternoon or an entire day sometimes. Like sometimes I'll find the song straight away. I'm like, yes, that's perfect. But other times I'll get like 20 different songs and then play with them in the edit like over and over and take things and in and out and stuff like that. So yeah, it just changes.
I watch Grace all the time playing speeches and then playing a track in the background and then she'll switch out a track and try the next track while she's listening to the
Yeah.
speeches. And I find that really interesting because I've got no idea. It's all black and white.
It helps if
Yeah,
you
nice.
like love listening to music, like just take it as an opportunity to literally just have a day listening to tracks and like curating your own playlists. Like I've got like 10 different playlists of genres that I love. So when I go to find a song, I don't go through the whole of music bed. I just go through my curated lists. So I know I'm going to get something I love no matter what. Like tracks that I actually...
So you've got different playlists, because I kind of did do that, but I just have like one favorites folder. So
yeah,
you've sort
well-
of separated it.
Yeah, go a step further. Like I have one
Alright,
that's like
cool.
chill beats, and then I have one that's like
Yeah.
romantic and blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Idea stolen. Thank you.
Take it. It's great. It helps
wicked.
crunch it down.
Cool. Awesome. Alrighty. Let's talk about camp now. Where did the idea come from? Where did the idea for a workshop come from for you guys?
I love a challenge. I think it came out of being fully booked, and I do the emailing and the shooting, but obviously during the week, not a hell of a lot else. And so I said to Grace, we should do a workshop. We've been asked by random people over the years, do you do any workshops or mentoring or anything? And we just didn't feel comfortable until recently to sort of try do anything like that. And we're very much, being teachers just hasn't sat with us until recently. And so we just came up with this idea. We didn't want it to be just us. We wanted to bring community together because that was what was it all about for us.
Yeah.
And wanted to be lots of fun as well. And there's so many mistakes that we've made over our journey, and I just wanted people to come to this thing and have a shot in the arm, a booster, where they didn't have to make all the fuck ups that we made. I don't know if I can swear, sorry.
Yeah, you can swear, it's fine.
Sorry. I think as well it came from, so you've heard of Camp Common Folk, the photo version? Yeah, and we were talking to those guys, and they're bloody awesome. By the way, the dudes that run that, they're so lovely.
Yeah.
But the idea came from that. A lot of people are saying to us, we talk to a lot of other filmmakers, they're like, oh my God, there's so many workshops for photographers, but shit all for film. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So he just was like, whoa, instead of doing a 1-day workshop, let's just do a 5-day camp for the first time ever. I haven't even been to a workshop before, so I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
Like I say, we like a challenge. Yeah, and for me personally, this might be an unpopular opinion, but it's so crazy that we're in the only media industry where photography is sort of above video. And I kind of...
That's such an interesting point.
Yeah.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
And it kind of the hierarchy, it doesn't necessarily sit well with me. And so I just wanted to have something where the industry could go, we're great, we're worthy, we're valid. And video filmmaking, I think, is such a young industry as well, and it's developing so quickly. And it's becoming more and more popular as people see that it isn't all the cheesy, old school, massive camera on your shoulder kind of bullshit. And so, I'm just really proud that we get to be at the forefront of bringing the whole industry up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a good point. I didn't even really think about that until now, but mind blowing. Cool. So give us a rundown of the camp, what happened, some of the highlights.
Wow. Where do we start?
Yeah, I don't know. Go on, it's your baby.
Yeah.
For me, when Matt Johnson first said, yes, I'm in, and I'm going to bring my wife, my daughter, and my mum, I was like...
Oh, yeah, we're
his mum as well.
Yeah. He brought his mum. She's sick as well. She's such a cool woman.
Well, him and Rachel wanted to have a good time, so they brought their own babysitter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we were in talks with him, and when he was like, yep, done, I'm coming, lock it in, we were like, shit, let's do it. Basically, well, what? Because
at that stage, we'd written a budget, a business plan, done all the prep, but we still hadn't 100% committed to actually doing it. We had the venue, but we hadn't paid a deposit or anything.
Yeah.
And when he said yes, we were like, okay, we're definitely doing it.
We're not even answering your question. What was the rundown of camp? Go.
The rundown, the highlights?
We go off.
Highlights. We had 48 people attend, which was amazing. We even had a guy come from New York to attend, which is just insane.
Yeah, it was basically, how many nights was it?
It was 4 nights.
4 nights.
Sunday to Thursday morning. So Sunday night to Thursday morning.
We had about 2-3 keynote speakers a day, 1.5 hours of their big talk, breakout sessions. The venue brought in random cookies and Anzac biscuits mid-talk sometimes in the afternoon, which they didn't even tell us about. I'm like, you guys are awesome. It's just a lot of everything.
There was drones getting lost. There was...
one guy came to camp, never crashed his drone, and then crashed his drone. So
there were random late night TP parties. There was people hanging out in the pool. The venue's amazing. It's called Weddings in the Wild, south of Sydney.
Yeah.
We had Remy telling everybody throughout the camp to charge more.
Which was awesome.
He sent out a €40,000 quote at one stage, which is Yeah, just crazy.
Not bad.
Yeah. The highlight for me was after camp when everyone messaged us straight away and said, oh, this has changed my business, this has changed my outlook on work-life balance, or how much I'm charging, or I'm not going to make the same mistakes you guys did. Thanks, suckers.
The highlight for me was Matt Johnson doing a shoey.
Doing a shoey. Nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
It's hard to even... I think I'm still processing it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild. I learned heaps myself. So for us, when we're deciding the lineup, we just wanted to get together the people that we want to hang out with and learn from. So
Yeah.
I figure you can't go too far wrong when that's the case.
Yeah, wicked. And so let's talk about some of the speakers and the learnings. You know, what are some of the big things that were talked about?
I think Remy made a bit of a splash talking, Remy from Mario Films. He talked a lot about his kind of a la carte kind of pricing structure.
Yeah.
And I think as Aussies, we have this attitude of like not wanting to talk about money or not wanting to ask for too much money.
Yeah.
And it was so valuable having him there because he just came in and Remy's so blunt and hilarious. And he would just say shit and everyone's like, oh, why do you charge that? And he's like, because I can. And, you know, I think definitely one of the big lessons was if you don't ask for it, you'll never get it. So if you never ask for a 15K wedding, you're never going to get it.
Yeah.
That was pretty valuable. I think Mel from Till Death kind of talked about a lot of her personal work, which I think resonated with a lot of people in terms of like how it reflects on your wedding videography. Like if you don't do personal work, you'll never find your style. And that's really important for your weddings.
Yeah. And then Nat from Auburn Hour spoke on finance and business, which I think is a topic that's too often left unspoken.
Especially with small businesses, like no one runs their tax or knows about super, and you know we're all creatives, a good percentage of us anyway. So
yeah, so I think that resonated with a lot of people really strongly. There are people that are all over that. If business comes naturally to you, that's great. But for a lot of creatives, it doesn't. And I know, you know, I've got lots of mates that are creatives that are on payment plans to the Australian Tax Office because they've fucked up that side of things. So I think that was super valuable.
We want to educate a lot of people coming into the industry on that kind of stuff, and even some people who I think are kind of intermediate and nearly advanced are having issues there still. So I think that was really valuable.
Yeah, and it's not a sexy topic, but she...
she made it sexy. She wore if you've seen a photo of Nat in a cheerleading outfit,
Yeah. See that.
That shit went down. It was good. She definitely made it like the coolest.
It's certainly one way to lighten a dull or stressful topic.
She smashed it.
She made a drinking game out of it too, which was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the boys from Humdrum, they came across. They came straight from a wedding in Thailand, which was really cool.
Yeah, and they were such a good vibe as well. And they kind of did a lot of talk on like their corporate work as well, their other business and things like that. And
how each influences the other and is sort of over the journey. And they also, because they came straight from Thailand, they whipped out their kit and showed everyone their full travel kit and all their gear and everything.
It's like a swarm of people like coming into, and as they pull out all the
cameras.
I felt like we were all at the zoo with our faces pressed to the glass.
Yeah. A lot of photos taken and shit. Yeah, it was good. Andrew kind of talked about our fuck-ups in Bottlebrush and try to educate people from that standpoint of what not to do, because we've fucked up so much over the years.
And raising our prices and overbooking and having FOMO of all the bookings that we get, how to give a good customer experience, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Grace talked on editing.
Sorry?
Surprise.
Grace talked on editing.
Yeah, nice.
Storytelling.
Do you guys have any thing you feel like wasn't covered that you would like to?
Yeah,
have?
I mean, it's impossible to cover everything, right?
I would love to have I don't know if it's definitely going to happen, but our plan for next year is to hopefully have a colorist come in and talk on the back end of color grading. I think things like that would be helpful. I think we did some really cool breakout sessions, but I think there's like a want for more hands-on stuff as well. So hopefully we'll do more of that. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty good for a first go. I think we did well.
Yeah.
But you can always do better. Shit.
Yeah. And the feedback's been really good. A few people have mentioned some stuff they'd like to see covered next time, which is really good.
Yeah.
And we're open to feedback from people that didn't come as well.
Yeah. Who you want to see talk at the next one?
Yeah. If anyone's watching this and they want to send us a message on who they want to see speak at the next one, let us know, because we're starting to think about that already.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see who pops up for the next one. And so, because I've never actually been to a workshop like this, you know, I have to admit, I had a bit of FOMO watching all the Instagram stuff go through.
That was our plan.
But why are like workshops and camps like this so great for people?
Well, I guess we kind of called it Lonely Hearts because, you know, it's a lonely industry sometimes, especially when you're working for yourself.
Yeah, I call it Lonely Hearts because I like the Beatles, but no.
Yeah, I think it's like one of the guys from Adelaide, Luke, put it really well. He's like, if it was purely just going and hanging out with the other attendees, the other campers, it would have been worth it, plus all the speakers on top of it. And I think that touches on how important community is.
Yeah, and we all live on like Facebook groups and talk to each other digitally, but like you can only know so much about someone. Like it's so much more worthwhile just coming actually in human form and hanging out and actually meeting people who you can then kind of rely on for help down the line, like actual real life friendship.
Yeah, and we did like a first night event with some of the local Indigenous guys, and they talked about the importance of knowledge sharing and face-to-face and storytelling for their culture, which was really a good way to start it off.
Yeah, they do nothing obviously like online or any kind, like the only way they share stories is through like spoken word, and that was, I think, really valuable way to kick off camp, just to kind of get everyone off their phones. There was limited reception out there, which I think was actually a really good thing. You could get it, but really randomly on this hill. So a lot of people were just really engaged and just hanging out outside of like any digital stuff, which I think was, it was rad.
Yeah, I think that's a good question to ask the people that went as well. What was the importance of it to them? Because a lot of expectations, a lot of people thought they'd just be learning a lot of tech stuff, and some people were really pleasantly surprised to be able to share in each other's struggles and to share in each other's wins. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to know you're not alone in some of the stuff that you're finding tricky or challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, wicked. And besides obviously the next camp, do you guys have any other sort of educational plans or, you know, things you've got in the works?
Well, nothing big. But
nothing big. We do one-on-one mentoring now, kind of thing that we started looking into, which I think just like in terms of like one-on-one like cinematography or one-on-one editing.
Yep.
But other than that, it's camp, mentoring, getting into this whole teacher vibe, which is really crazy.
Yeah. No big plans. Camp is an all-consuming beast, so running that and running a business is tricky, but
it's a lot.
It's something we're passionate about, so we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah. And feel free to not go into specifics or anything, but was the camp for you guys like sort of a financial endeavor? Was it financially worthwhile, or was it more of an investment into like community building and stuff, or a bit of both?
I think, well, it was mostly about like community building and bringing everyone together. Like obviously that was like where it came from.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm the hard ass. I'm like to Andrew, I'm like, we're not doing this unless I make some money. Like I wanted to. I don't think
which
it's
is
like
fair enough. There's so much time goes into it.
And what we said before, like I don't want to be a struggling artist. Like I'm good at my job. Like I want to earn money from it. So it was financially beneficial for us for sure. Like we'd love to run it every year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we made money. We just, for me, the goal first time around was just not to lose money.
And to break even at the very least, which we did. Yeah. That's good.
And the motivation for me was a challenge and to raise the whole industry up a little bit. Yeah,
and it was a lesson for us in running a business, because when we started Bottlebrush, we had no idea what we were doing, and we didn't make money for a long time. So for us, it was like a challenge. Like, okay, let's start a second business, but let's do it right. Like, let's actually make it financially beneficial, which you should do.
Yeah, and that was the reason that I wrote out a really detailed budget and got quotes and a business plan. Never even done that for Bottlebrush, so it was a really good learning experience for us as well. Yeah,
it was fun. It was actually satisfying to do it well and to pull it off, and yay!
No, it was super impressive from everything I saw online. It seemed like you guys had a really solid plan in place and we're taking it really seriously, and just it looked like it went off awesomely. So well done.
Thanks.
I guess to kind of finish us off, we're basically sort of at the end of our conversation now, but it's been a big year for you guys, and looking back sort of overall, how do you feel like it's gone? Like any regrets, any happy accidents, learnings, anything you're going to sort of take forward into the coming years?
Oh my God. Such a big question.
Yeah.
I think the last 12 months have been a step in the right direction for us.
Yeah, I think the last 12 months, my whole goal has been I'm really wanting to do more personal work as well. So it was a big year for us. Like, it was a lot of work, especially, it was a lot of work for both of us. I kind of put a rule that, like, no travel for that year, because we've been traveling crazy for weddings, which is awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, but I was like, I'm going to catch up on a lot of the edits and then give myself time to do something else, which we succeeded at, so that's good.
We said no travel last year, except we still managed to go to New Zealand, Norway and Hawaii.
Yeah, I didn't go to Norway though. Yeah.
Just short little jaunts.
Yeah. No, it was an epic year.
Yeah.
I think, cherry on top was just like doing Lonely Hearts Film Camp. Like that was crazy.
Oh, and we found out during film camp that we won an award at WPPI as well.
Yes, that was a highlight for sure.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was nice.
We came third in one of the, I can't remember what the title is.
We came third, which I think is pretty good considering the Americans are so patriotic.
Yeah, and there's some talent over there, so.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
What's highlights for you?
I don't know. Oh, man. So for me, we did a film, an elopement with a couple called Gabby and Kate. And that was a big highlight for me because over the years...
That was a cool film.
Yeah, cheers, man. Over the years, we've had all these ideas and we really wanted to approach a wedding film like a short film narrative, like in terms of you've got control over the locations, you've got, like we got the whole ceremony transcript from the celebrant pre-wedding so that we could actually plan some little things according to what was going to be said. It didn't really work out that well, but we got to try things like that to really experiment. Experimenting with lighting, like putting lights on a drone and flying around overhead and all sorts of crazy shit. We used a projector and used that as a light source, and things like haze in a can and all sorts of crazy shit. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's certainly one of the most unique wedding films I've seen in a long time. It's really, really cool. Just it's not often you see something like with that kind of lighting and those kind of scenes, and it was awesome. Really cool.
But I mean, they do that sort of stuff in music videos and in short films all the time.
Yeah, which is where the whole idea came from. Like, I love lighting. Like, I wanted to be able to do like something red lit and blue lit and just use those colours alone. And so that was, it was cool.
And there's no reason that we can't start taking more inspiration in the wedding filmmaking industry for things like that. Like I always said to Grace that if we get married, I want to get married in front of a bonfire at night. And then I was like, wait on, that'd be way cooler to film. So
let's film it.
So that's the reason, because Gabby and Kate were up for anything.
So that was a highlight massively. And the girls were just like the coolest people we've ever met. So they were just fun to party with. And now, we even catch up with them still. So that shit's always a highlight, I think, like meeting good people like that.
Yeah. And they trusted us enough to creep on them in the shower as well, which is nice.
That sounds so seedy.
You might start a trend of shower scenes in wedding films.
Yes.
I mean, Titanic started it. That's where the inspiration
Titanic.
With the hand on the...
I think we made a joke about that in the day. I'm like, do the hand thing.
So good. So
but that's that's where you get your inspiration from. You see stuff like that. That's people at the highest end of filmmaking, and they're doing cool shit like that. There's no reason we can't try it as well.
Yeah.
Wicked. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to have a little chat with me. It was awesome to meet you guys.
Yeah. All right, back at
do you have anything you want to like sort of let people know about, plug, anything like that? Fire away.
Oh yeah, well obviously we do the one-on-one workshops and mentoring now. But
that's up on our website if you want to look at any kind of learnings and things like that. And then he can plug Lonely Hearts 21 dates because he's very excited. So go on.
Yeah, so we've officially locked in Lonely Hearts round 2 2021 dates, and you're actually the first person to know this because we haven't announced it yet. But
Special.
So we've locked in February 21 to 25 in 2021 will be Lonely Hearts the 2nd.
Right on.
Block out your
Awesome.
dates.
Fantastic.
Just south of Sydney, Australia. We made it Sydney, so lots of Kiwis could get there easily as well.
Yeah.
We did have a couple
Nice.
of Kiwis, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're really excited. We're already talking to a couple of people about speaking.
Some good speakers coming
Yeah,
up.
so-
Keen. Won't tell you those, but you'll find
Yeah,
out.
no, that's right. I'm sure we'll all keep our ear to the ground about that. But I'll have links to Grace and Andrew's mentoring, as well as all the Lonely Hearts info and pages below. If you guys want to, obviously, I'm not sure when tickets are going on sale, but you'll be
After the
able to
apocalypse.
After the
keep an ear out
apocalypse.
for that. Yeah. Other than that, thank you again for coming on the show.
Yay.
And
It's awesome.
we will see you guys next time.
Sweet. Thanks,
Peace.
mate. Bye.
Done.